Jasmine, I don't see your name. Gloria, where's your name? Ah, very good. All right, you guys. So this is from the last webinar, actually, the last webinar. If I gave you the quadratic and vertex form this, what would be the max height of the ball from this? And so tell you what you think. Based on this equation, what would be the max height of the ball? So remember, this is vertex form.
I need to plug in my computer. Where are the chargers?
Oh.
All right, never mind.
Okay, I got a charger. All right, so Gloria, what do you think? Jasmine, what do you think? Your name is not. Oh, you're up there. Oh, Jazz is up there. Hey, Jazz. Jasmine. Jasmine. So everybody is doing 30. It looks like 5 over here. And then Jasmine, if you find one, just type your name in it. Oh, because you're not in. Ah, I see. I see. But now you're good. Okay. All right. All right, well, you guys, if you remember from last time, if you remember from last week, the vertex is 45, right? It's always opposite of what's next to the x, comma 30. And if you notice, this is 45, and so I just put this in as 30, right? So this point would be 45, 30, if in fact this were the equation. But it's not the equation, I just made it up to show you guys that if it was in vertex form, you wouldn't need a scale, right? Because you could just look at it and say, oh, well, I know that 30 is the max height, so I can just look at the equation and I don't need a scale. But you guys, I'm going to show you something new and exciting, okay? So I'm going to erase all this. So what this is standard form of an equation. This is different than vertex form. It has its advantages for sure, but for right now it doesn't because we can't see the vertex, but we can find the vertex. And the way we do that is we would find the axis of symmetry first. So we're going to find this x coordinate, and to do that we're going to take negative b over 2a. That is actually the equation that you use to find the axis of symmetry, which remember that the axis of symmetry is the line, an imaginary line, that goes right down the center of your graph. So if I know what this x value is right here, I at least have the x value of my vertex. So when you see this lesson, make sure you write this down, this axis of symmetry. Okay, so we need to know b and we need to know a. Well, remember that if we look at our equations, so let's write this equation out. We have y equals negative 0.01 x squared plus 0.9x. All right, so I'm going to call on you guys. So Elliot, because you're sitting next to me, what is the a value of this in this equation?
0.01.
Ah, very nice, but negative. Don't forget the negative. Negative 0.01. Awesome job. All right, Emily, since you're on my right, what's the b value? 0.9. Nice job, 0.9. And then, Gloria, do we have a c value? What is it? Is there any numbers by themselves at all? Hmm? Jasmine, you're in. Yeah. Good. You got in. Gloria, do you see it? Is there any number on the end? Well, true. 0.9 is already in B. So there is, well, X, it can't ever be X. It can only be numbers. So is there, it would have to have something on the end, but is there anything on the end? No. 0. So our C value is 0. So remember that our A value is always what's next to the X squared. Our B value is always what's next to the X. And our C value is the constant term all by itself. So once we identify those, then we can plug them into our nifty equation, you guys. So we can just say x is equal to negative 0.9, because that's our b, because right, it's negative b, over 2 times a, and a is negative 0.01, as Elliot has told us. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I could not do that in my head. Can you guys do that in your head? No, no, unless you're a genius, some special kind of genius. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take 0.9, and I'm going to divide it by, actually, you know what I'm going to do is because I'm going to do the denominator first. So I'm going to do 2 times 0.01 and get a number. So this is 0.9, just because the calculator is not advanced enough to do it all in one step. Okay, and these are both negative, right? Because it's negative 0.9, and 2 times a negative is a negative. But when I divide these out, a negative divided by a negative is just a positive. So I'm not going to worry about the negatives when I'm dividing. So I get 45. Oh, isn't that what you guys said already? That it reaches its max at 45 when x is 45, right?
I said 47.
So you were close.
Yeah.
You were really close. So, you know, we could look at it and estimate it, and we were pretty close. But we still don't know the max height. But we just confirmed, though, that this x value is, in fact, 45. So you guys, here's all we have to do. We can use substitution. So all we have to do is take our equation, h equals negative 0.01, but we know what x is at the maximum height, and we know it's 45, so I can just plug in that 45 and square it, and then I can plug in the 45 for the second x. And then once again, I can use my calculator to take 45 and square it, and I get 2,025, and then multiply that times 0.01. Okay. So if I simplify this out, and I just did it in my calculator, I get negative 20.25 plus 0.9 times 45, again, I have to do that in my calculator because I can't do that in my head, is 40.5. So I'm really close to finding my y value, right? H is your maximum height. So if I put these together, 40.5 and a negative 20.25, I just have to subtract. And I get, actually I still get 20.25. So guess what, you guys? The height up here, if I were to have a scale, is actually 20.25. So the coordinates of this point right here are 45, 20.25. So I can actually figure this out algebraically, pretty radically, huh? Pretty radical, pretty awesome, using the standard form. It just takes a lot more math than the vertex form. Any questions about that for now? Jazz, Emma, you guys over there, you guys are all good? No, no, no. Okay. Nope. How about you guys? That makes sense? We're going to do another one, actually. So this is kind of a new concept for you guys. So this is all what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you. Our objectives today are to find the axis of symmetry like we did, find the vertex in order to graph a quadratic equation. So we're going to try one more of those, maybe two, see how you guys feel. But this is one of your lessons that's coming up. So I just want you guys to feel really comfortable, but here's the steps. So if you want to write it down now, you can. It is on a lesson that is from this week, I believe. I think it's this week. But this is how to graph a quadratic written in standard form. So you guys already know how to graph one in vertex form, because that's what we did last Tuesday. You just don't know how to graph it in standard form. But it's not very hard. If you remember this little equation, x equals negative b over 2a, that'll help you find the axis of symmetry, which finds the x component of the vertex. And then you just plug that in to find your y. And then from there, once you have your vertex, you can just create a small table of values, and then you can graph it. So let's actually, I'm going to have you guys see if you can figure out, in your notepad, see if you can tell me that what x is equal to. Do negative b over 2a. You actually do not need a calculator for this one. I put nice numbers in there for you guys. But see if in your notepad you can figure out step one using this equation in standard form. I know you guys are taking notes now. You're all very good on that one. But now I'm talking to you. Jazz. LOL. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so you guys are starting to understand, but here's what I was wanting you to do. So if you take this equal, negative, right, and then I plug in for b this negative 12, right, I have to take, like Elliot asked, the whole thing, so negative 12. So I've got a negative and a negative, right, all divided by 2, and then my a term is a 3. Okay, so if I simplify, a negative and a negative makes a positive 12, and then 3 times 2 is 6, and then 12 divided by 6 is 2. Make sense? Good? Elliot, good? So Emma, you got an extra negative in there, actually. Emily got an extra negative in there. You see why you have an extra negative? Because on the top one, when you have a negative, because I have a minus b, so it's a negative negative, which makes it positive. All right, you guys, good. So now you guys know that the x-coordinate of the vertex is positive 2. Yay. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do now then. Go to step 2 and find the vertex using an x value of 2. Can you guys do that? See if you can find the vertex. That is. Good, Emily. That is exactly where you plug it in. Very nice. Let me see if I can find a graph here to give you guys some visual images.
Oh.
All right, you guys, so use your math powers and do step 2, find the vertex. So we have, I'm going to graph this, what you guys just did. Oops. Actually, I don't want to graph a solid line. I want to graph a dash line since it's the axis of symmetry. Okay, so I've just graphed the axis of symmetry. So if you guys can picture, this line is the middle of my parabola, right? It splits the parabola into 2 congruent pieces. Okay, so I know that my parabola is on here, either opening up or opening down. Some of you might already know. And I know that the x-coordinate is 2, but what is my y-coordinate? That's what I have to figure out. Figure out my y-coordinate. Gloria, you're back. All right, you guys. So Gloria, we figured out that the x-coordinate is 2, and now we are figuring out our y-coordinates.
Did it.
You did it?
Yeah.
What did you say? -8? Okay, good guess, good guess.
Oh, it's wrong?
No, I don't know, actually, I haven't done it yet.
Oh.
It could be right. Could be right. Emma, are you saying that the y-coordinate is -2? Because you have a 0, -2. Oh, okay, no. Oh, you're getting, because you're getting confused. Okay, okay, that's not good, but we'll talk about that. All right, so think about what you guys have, right? You have the x-coordinate, and if you go back, remember we have an equation. If I know what the x-coordinate of the vertex is, I've got x's in here. I can plug in that x-coordinate, right? Step 2 says plug in the x value to find the y. So if I replace these x's with my 2, and I solve this, it should tell me the y-coordinate of my vertex. Okay. So, Jazz, how are you doing over there? Does that make sense to you? Yep. All right, very nice. Kind of. All right, we'll see if you can substitute. So I know that all you guys can substitute, right? Like if I gave you an equation like y equals 2x plus 3, and I said that x is 5, you know that you could substitute in that 5 and find y. So I know you guys can do that. So see how it goes. So I see Emily's working. That's good. Gloria, do you know what to do? So we are on step 2. So, and we found the x-coordinate to be 2, and you can kind of look at my work up here. We use that negative b over 2a to find the x-coordinate, and now I'm just going to take that and replace it with, replace the x with that, and then see what you get. How you doing, Jasmine? Elliot, how about you?
I'm good.
Did you get, oh, you got it already, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot. All right, Elliot, if you want to go into step 3, create a table of values. You only need like 2 of them. And see what you get. Just because you need a couple extra points around the vertex to graph your parabola. Because you only have 1 point, right? You have 2, you're saying 2, -8 is your point. So you need a couple more just to make a parabola. Did you get it, Gloria?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay. I'll help you with it then. All right, Emily, what'd you get? You're still thinking. Jazz, how about you? Are you confused or are you working on it? Okay. All right, you guys, well, let me help you out then. It looks like, so Emma got 4, Elliot got -8, and Jasmine's got a y equals. That's good. Okay. So you guys, we're just plugging in x, right? So we have y. Here's my equation, equals 3. X is 2, right? The line of symmetry is x equals 2. So I'm just going to put in a 2. I'm going to replace x with 2, just like this. Okay, -12, replacing x with 2, and then +4. How's that look? Did you guys all do that? Okay. So just to simplify then, do your exponents first. So this is going to be 3 times 4. 2 squared is 4. And then I can do 12 times 2, which is 24. The only place I really see that people make errors is they do 3 times 2 first, and then they square it, and that messes them all up. So from here, now you have one more thing to multiply. You have the 3 times 4, so that gets you 12. And then you have 12 minus 24 plus 4. Okay. So 12 minus 24 is -12. And notice how I'm just doing this one step at a time. And then -12 plus 4 is -8. Elliot, you said -8. Very nice. So here we have, you guys, the vertex is 2, -8. So Emma, you might have just, I don't know what you did, but it might have just been that your math was off a little bit. So if I plot that point, 2, -8, here's my vertex. So let me ask you guys for a guess real quick, just in your notepads or whatever. Do you guys think this parabola is going to open up or open down? Which one do you think? Up or down? Uh-huh. So I just type in up or down. Which way is it going to open up? Gloria, are you with me?
Wait. As in open, you mean like if it opens up and it goes like that?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, if it opens up, it'll look like a U. If it opens down, it'll look like an N, I guess. Kind of like an N.
Or an upside down U.
Or an upside down U. Yes. An umbrella. Ella. Ella. Gloria. Up or down? You have to type up or down. Type up or down. Uh-huh. Is it going to open up or is it going to open down? Okay, type up. Okay, type that. Jazz, over there. Is it going to open up or down? Ah, okay. You know, Jazz, you can type in your little notepad. Oh, you have a, oh, you know what, Jazz? I'm sorry. I didn't notice that your notepad, because it's so little. You can type it there too, Jazz. That's okay, but it's so little. Here, wait, hang on. I know I'm taking up the whole screen right now. I just forgot to scroll down on yours. Oh, but there is nothing down there. Okay, so that's okay. Sometimes when your notepad's really little, I have to scroll down. Okay, so overwhelmingly, it looks like up, up, up. Everybody is saying up, and Jazz said up in the chat. So you guys are exactly right. And the way you can tell is by looking at your A value, and it's a +3, so it's going to open up. So Elliot, here's what I was saying, right? So you've got your vertex at 2, -8, right? So I just want to pick some x values on one side. So give me some x values that are close to this 2 right here.
2.
Well, yeah, we already got 2 though. That's -8. Give me another one.
4.
Okay, so that's kind of far off to the right. I want one right next to it. 3. Good, so I could go with 3. But you guys, here's what I'm going to do. 3 is much bigger than 1, right? So if I choose 1, that would be easier for me with math. What's another x value that would be really easy that's close to 1 then? 0. Yes, 0 is super easy to plug in. In fact, look, you guys, if I plug in 0 into this equation, I get 0 squared is 0 times 3 is 0, right? 0 minus, well, 12 times 0 is 0. So 0 minus 0 plus 4 is just 4. And did I do any math? Did I even work hard? No. Gloria doesn't know what I'm saying. No. Okay. Gloria, are you paying attention over there? You look too happy to be paying attention right now. So, for 1, we just are going to plug it in. So, 1 squared is just 1. Minus 12 times 1 is just 12. Plus 4. So, what's 3 minus 12? That's -9, I think. And -9 plus 4 is -5. So, Elliot, do you see how I made these points? Does that make sense how I made those points? No? I just picked some x values, like 1 and 0, and I plugged them into my equation to get a y value.
Okay. So they have to be the closest
to the line of symmetry, it would be best. Yeah, because since each side's going to grow exponentially, if I were to choose 6, my y value could potentially be like 528, and I can't graph that. It's too big.
Okay.
So you always want to choose x values that are really close to your line of symmetry, and I would choose closer to the 0 than, you could have chose 3 and 4, but then I have to do more math in my head, and that's way too hard. It's too much strain. So now all we have to do is plot these. So I get 1, -5, which is right here, and 0, 4. See how big a difference there is between 1 and 0, how much it grew? Well, the nice thing about the line of symmetry, guys, is remember that you can plot a point right on the other side symmetric to the one you just did. So it looks like that. And then you can just connect the dots. And it's kind of curvy, comes up like that, curves, very hard to draw. Anyway, and there's your quadratic. So we graphed a quadratic in 3 steps. Step 1, find the line of symmetry. Step 2, plug that x in to get your vertex. And step 3, create a table of values. So, everybody, raise your hand. No, actually, yeah, raise your hand if you are a 5 or better on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
Wait, 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
Well, it's 1 to 10, but if you're like 5 to 10 as far as understanding it, raise your hand.
You
So
said 5 to 10.
I know I confuse you with math knowledge. So
Exactly.
Emma, raise your hand. Is Emma the only one? If you're like in the 5 to 10 range of understanding.
So 5, sorry, so 5 to 10 is understanding.
Okay, never mind. Let's redo. Okay. We're going to do 1, 2, or 3. If you're a 3, raise your hand. So Emma's already got her hand up because she was already. Okay, so nobody else is a 3, right? You're not a 3? 3
is like completely understanding.
Yes.
Like you're good at it.
3 is you're a rock star.
I'm about a 1.
Okay, so raise your hand if you're a 2. We'll get to 1s, don't worry. Okay, so Emily's a 2. Nice. Okay, now raise your hand if you're a 1. All right, Jazz.
Wait, 1 here?
Yeah, on there.
Okay.
Elliot, that's nice. Okay, good. Is there anybody that is a 0? Raise their hand. Gloria, you are not raising any hands. What, Gloria, what are you besides not paying attention over there? I know you are not paying attention. Yes, you are not. What number are you? A 1. Jasmine, what are you? Okay. All right, you guys. So here's what we're going to do then, because this is all we're doing today, but I have one more just to try. How about that? All right. Okay, so Emma, if you actually, because I don't want to take up your time doing the same one, if you feel good already, if you feel good, Emma, and you want to just go back and post to somebody's discussion, you totally can, and you can take off if you like. But just remember to reply to somebody's discussion. You can even reply with what you learned, or you could actually just post to your own discussion and say what you learned about writing a quadratic in standard form. Okay, thanks, Emma. All right, the rest of you guys, in your notepads, do step 1. Find the equation for the axis of symmetry. Gloria, Gloria, do this with me. Stay with me. You can do it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to come sit by you. A is 1, B is 2. All right, so Gloria, good. Okay, so Gloria, is that going to be negative or positive? Are you doing negative 2 divided by 2? Jasmine, being negative or positive? Okay, good. Yes, Jazz, you were supposed to be doing this. Okay, so good, you guys. So what you did is I'm just going to do it up here. We have negative, and B is 2, over 2, and then A is 1. So what I wanted you guys to do is simplify it. 2 times 1 is just 2, and then negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. So now you know the x value. All right, you guys, so find the vertex. Use that x value and find the vertex. Find the vertex. Okay, you guys, how's it going? You need some help? Okay, let me look. What do you got? Okay, so remember that you're plugging in negative 1 in here, right? Is that negative 1? Yeah. Negative 2 divided by 2 is, and then so you shouldn't have any more x's in there, actually, Emily. So when you replace it in for x, your x's will all be gone. No x's. And then, okay, so what's negative 1 squared? And then, yeah. That confusing you. But then let's look at your second one. So then you have 2 times negative 1, right? Because that should be negative 1 in there. That'll be negative 2. Good job, but you're getting there. Okay, so good. So now you're all ready just to put those together. Okay, so always go from left to right. So just start like with 1 piece at a time. So what's 1 minus 2? Positive and negative. Good. Good. Negative. Yes. Yay. Elliot, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Did you get it?
I think so.
Oh, you put it in already. Sorry, I didn't even notice. Oh, and Emily's got hers in. Jasmine. Gloria. How close are you, Jasmine? Almost? Okay. So, you guys, what I did while Jasmine is finishing up, and I don't see, maybe Jasmine, if you did it. Actually, let me scroll down. I'm in an awkward place here because I'm not in the lab at this moment. Oh, very good. So, Jazz, you got the X, but I just don't see your Y. Okay. So, you guys, what I did is I went ahead and graphed the line of symmetry here, right, where x equals negative 1. That's what this line is. So I could write under here x equals -1, right? That's this imaginary line. So in order to find the y value, we'll see how you guys did. I plugged in my x value in place of my x's, so I no longer have any x's. And if I simplify this, I get, so -1 squared is +1. And then 2 times -1 is -2, and then -5. -1 minus 2 is -1 minus 5. And -1 minus 5 is -6. So, -1, -6, that's my vertex. So I can come down here and plot my point. So how did we all do? So Elliot, how'd you get 4?
I plugged in -1 for x is, and then I solved that, and that's how I got it.
So like if you look at mine, did you have -1 squared like that plus 2 times -1 minus 5 up here? Like, here, I'll highlight it. You see what I'm talking about? So like, did you have this right here, that equation? Wait, it's about to highlight. It's just delayed.
Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
So what, did you do -1 squared and get +1? You did? Did you do 2 times -1 and get -2?
Yes.
And then you have the -5, right?
Yes.
So did you do 1 minus 2?
Yes.
What'd you get?
-1.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, then so when you did -1 minus 5 is when you got 4? So it was the very last step.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good though. You at least did it right. That's why if you show your work on all those practices and I saw that you did the whole thing right and you just messed up at the end, it'd be like -1.
I'm not good with subtracting negative.
Think of it this way. If you don't like that negative there, you can always, no matter what, change it to a plus, but you have to still have a negative somewhere, so you just put the negative in front of the 5. So really you have -1 plus a -5. It's showing up. Is it showing up yet? There it goes. So you have -1 plus a -5, which is a -6. Okay, so good job, you guys. So we're almost done. Let's just do a couple points. So if this is our line of symmetry, give me a point. You guys, someone give me a point. Very good. 0 and 1 more. 1. Very good. So if I plug 0 in, I'm just going to get -5, right? Because everything next to the x would turn into 0. If I plug a 1 in there, I'm going to get 1 plus 2, which is 3, and 3 minus 5 is -2. So I just did quick mental math in the essence of time. But anyway, but you guys can do the real math if you want to. So 1, -2 would give you here. And then all you have to do is plot symmetric points. And I'm going to tell you guys, when you get to this lesson, you're going to be awesome at it because you've already seen it now, close up and personal. And then when you watch it again, you'll be like, ah, I get this. All right, you guys, that's it. Graph quadratics in standard form. So that concludes our webinar, you guys. Any questions at all?
When you look for these, you just plug in numbers in.
I just plug those into my original equation and
Okay.
all right, you guys, so hopefully that's a little bit of exposure to quadratics in standard form. So when you get to that week, like I said, you should watch the lesson again so that way you see it a second and third time and then try the practice problems. But you guys are doing good. You guys are doing really good. So hang in there. Remember, we just have this week and next. So try to make sure when you're looking at how much work you've done, try to look and say, gosh, do I have at least 6 weeks done for Mrs. Elliott? And did I do my assessments? So that that way she has something else to really look at. All right, you guys, and that's it. Don't forget to go back into the discussion real quick and post. Actually, this is what I want you to do this time, you guys, because there's not a lot you can really say to the other person. Just post what you learned about finding the max. How about that?
On another person's thing, or
Just on your own. Yeah, just make another comment for your own and just post what you learned. And that's it.